I maybe ask Senator Lorraine Clifford-Lee. Lorraine is a new senator, new into our Parliament. She is originally from Waterford, and I think you have been a member of the Ard Comhairle of Fianna Fáil for some time. 12 years, right. So you will talk a little bit about Fianna Fáil's approach to the campaign. Thanks, Lorraine.
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm delighted to be here and to talk about such an important campaign. And thank you, Alva, for your 10 points on running a successful referendum. I think that those points are very valuable to anybody running any type of political campaign. And it was that professionalism that the Yes Equality campaign had that actually brought about the success. And I think a very good campaign was organised along with the support of the political parties, but it was really civic society that took it on board with the support and with the knowledge that you had gleaned from the various political parties. And as you quite rightly pointed out, the Labour Party were the first political party to come on board, but I think Fianna Fáil was next on board in relation to marriage equality. We passed a motion at our Ardèche in March 2012, which formed the basis of our policy going forward, and it was from that point then we took the steps within the party to play our part really in the referendum. And I suppose it was really Micheál Martin's intervention in terms of framing the narrative around the republicanism of the marriage equality referendum. It was the most Republican thing you could do was to vote yes, because marriage equality was just the same as education equality or housing equality, and it was the core thing to do if you were a Republican. And that captured the imagination of our members. We have the largest membership of all political parties, and some would say perhaps one of the more conservative membership, although I would dispute that myself, because I think our members would be far more liberal and open to change than they're often given credit for. But from a very early stage in the campaign, we identified members within our party who were members of the LGBT community, but also members of our party, and also had played their part in various general election campaigns and had the respect of the members. And for them to kind of come forward and say, well, look, this is about people like me and you and everybody else. I'm a good Fianna Fáil person, and this would really benefit me and my other community. And that really captured people's imaginations as well. And it was just about bringing the argument down to, or the debate down to common level, and have people talking about it in their local common meetings. And I think that was very, very successful. There were large information meetings held in every constituency. There was questions and answer sessions, like my colleague McLaughlin here, Senator McLaughlin actually said, it was about giving information to members of our own party so that they could go out and knock on the doors and engage with people in their communities. I think a lot of us, and it was something I did as well, sat at home, rang people, rang members of our party, and had that kind of private conversation with people, and it gave them the space to bring up any fears that they might actually have, and we could discuss them and play them out. And I think there was a lot of misinformation out there as well, and people were a little bit afraid to kind of mention in public that they might be swayed by this misinformation, but a one-on-one conversation often solved that, and it was something I found very effective. And then I think people then were empowered to kind of go out and discuss this among their own community. Alva, you also mentioned in your introduction that politicians played a low profile. I think it was very important that politicians played a low profile and that we step back from it and allowed civic society take the lead in this and let us support them, because there was that kind of feeling around, and particularly in rural Ireland, and it was something when I was making my phone calls that came up, that there was this little bit of a distrust about politicians, a distrust of the establishment. And one lady, and quite surprisingly, said to me on the phone, she said, well, look, all the political parties are telling us to vote for this. There must be something amiss. Why is everybody agreeing on this? And I kind of just said, well, look, it's because it's the right thing to do. And we had this discussion, but it was very important that civic society took hold of this campaign with the support of the political parties, but that we didn't take over, and that any negative feeling that people might have had towards Fianna Fáil or Sinn Féin or the Labour Party or Fine Gael didn't come into play in this. So, you know, maybe we could have played more of a part in other areas, and maybe that's something we can bring forward for other campaigns. But I think simply coming out and making it a political statement wouldn't have been the best thing to do in this campaign. And I suppose the kind of community leaders that you guys brought on board, and people coming out and talking about their own family situation, really was the way forward. And I think that's the way forward with other similar campaigns. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Lorraine.